Potato Cat, and welcome to my channel. Today we are playing the letter previously. Marianne got done with all the rights being the rights and got super drunk. Ran into Ashton, and now she's kind of gossiping about them. Not very well, because she is super drunk. And yeah, it's pretty much where we left off. Alright, let's continue.
As ocht day! No wonder Mr. Right likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke.
And again, I have to click on this. I really wish it wouldn't do that.
Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh? Suspicious shite, I'm telling you. Explains why she's so reluctant.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Oh, we mentioned her. Of course he's interested now. Before I get another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts to spin. I quickly slap his hands away, the best I can, and send him to the foulest look I can muster.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me up-chucking on your pretty hair.
Ew.
But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from VRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails.
It's been so long since I had one of those.
And we thought it was some joke or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. Whiskey, that's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either.
Yeah, well, it's kind of an awkward time to be pulling a prank, so it makes sense.
I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere. When rich snobs give you that face, no wonder the Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I?
A bit, yes.
Anyway, just like I said, in that man... Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
And he really is pale. Paler than before, at least. I can see the gears turning in his head on overtime. Suddenly, he shows a card in my hand. Looks for Police Department, Ashton Frey, Detective Inspector, desk, fax, email. Cool. On it, his name, Ashton Frey, and his number. But he has second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Yes, we know.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady. But listen to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash.
She may or may not, depends on how drunk she is.
If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
Journal updated. Okay. October 26th. The interior designer once again drank her frustrations away at the Crawl Bar. Albeit heavily intoxicated, she was seen chatting with Ashton Frey, a detective inspector working for the LPD, about Luke Wright. Before abruptly leaving, the detective left her his calling card. Not too much happened on the 26th, eh? The guy is quick on his feet, already up and at him as soon as the number leaves his lips. Watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pubgoers is enough to tire me out. Fast as he can, he's at the door and throws us a smile. And that's all we get before he's gone, just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
So we're that much of a regular, where we're just like, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a nap here, and he's just cool with it. Great. Swimming in cocktails. What a wonderful achievement to unlock. Mumbling as Sleepy thinks, I doze off on the spot. Face pressed on the counter, and he fell asleep at the counter. He couldn't even go to a booth or something. Already I dread the pain I'll have for sleeping in such a position. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. And of course we're having the creepy nightmare. Oh, blood splatters added. Fantastic.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie? Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
Not that I can get much sleep to begin with. Do people ever have the feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still, it eventually tires them out? Yes. Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
So, moments like these make all the hard work worth it. Definitely.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion.
Not so much the haunted mansion, I bet.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
Well, no, we're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction on a client's face is enough for me to push through. Let's face it, in between my exasperations at Mr. Wright's antics and her, I've been burning the candles at both ends. I can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face. Dead girl. Dead. She's dead. I have to keep reminding myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body, 6 feet under. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead, when I should be bothering myself with the living. Too bad the living are usually as complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past. Yeah, but I feel like this ghost thing is probably complicated.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see.
That sounds sarcastic.
That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites way past their honeymoon phase. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband.
Oh, right, this is when she's talking about herself.
But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Yep, we heard
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Why she thinks a single woman like me would be the best source of relationship advice is beyond me. Happens all the time. Still, I talk and answer to the best of my abilities. Not realizing it, I'm already pouring out a part of me I had thought were long gone. I like to believe my words will be of some help to Miss Wright. If I'm honest though, they are of some help to me, like some weights have been taken off my shoulders. Lorraine.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party?
Oh, we're going to miss that fantastical event that's going to
Oh,
happen.
you really must, Marianne.
The weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it? Maybe...
I'll try to stay in chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I change that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Yep. Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead. I shouldn't just callously forget about them to... Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft, that she would so easily miss things like a party for it. Outside the parlor, people hurry about here and there in preparation for the Wright's grand housewarming party. None spare me a glance as I slip past them, each working on their appointed roles, not daring to slack off while they work for what is probably the most powerful couple in Westbourne. I make it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. But when is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet. It is worthy of being called a quest. I'm not acting as Marian McCullough, the professional interior designer, when I choose to lie about being too busy for a party. I'm Marian McCullough, a lawful, neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. Just thinking of it like that makes it a bit cheesy. Indeed it does, and incredibly nerdy, but that's fine. But it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I'm actively seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmares, or I might see nothing and find myself imagined grand quest of that. I mean, that's okay. I'd rather have my grand quest of doom and death fall flat than achieve it, I guess. And great, now he's all creepy with his glasses. And who would have thought that the gatekeeper to my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally?
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butler comes from the cellar and into the kitchen, tailed by a couple of others. People who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. He raises a brow, seeing me just standing there by the hatch, by the trap door. It almost looks like he's going to throw me out for being in the kitchen without permission. But then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize themselves with their surroundings. Meanwhile, he continues to stand there, preventing entry into the darkness beyond.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now. I request you leave.
I was just looking around for any last-minute things, yes?
You could sound more convincing.
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about. Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
The look he gives me, as he says this, is almost chilling. If life was a gamebook, he'd probably be the true, neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place. So just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble. Both the bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and a disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise.
Yeah, but she won't be in the kitchen. She'll be in the wine cellar, which is not in the kitchen. It's under the kitchen.
And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out. But...
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9, 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself. The bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
I like that he calls him the bratwurst.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
So much better than whiskey. He steps aside begrudgingly. At this point, it looks like there's no turning back. Ooh, the wine cellar. Look at all its creepiness with the cobwebs and like going wah, 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 wah. The cellar greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before. Knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things worse. The mirror that had been moved from the study is my goal. I did not return to it after my initial discovery, but the thought of Lorraine, how much I want to see her again, even if it's just for one more time, keeps coming back to mind. As I walk through the cellar, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. Ooh, that can't be good. Whatever few bottles were left behind here are now nothing but glass under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butler had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess, with red slick pooling from the remnants of a good drink. With how dark this place is, a person with a dark enough imagination can easily mistake it for blood. I can't help but think it is, despite the easy logical explanation that had come to my mind, only because of what I'm about to do. It's merely a momentary distraction as I continue to the end of the cellar where the mirror stands. Propped up on the far wall, it gleams innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. How morbid to think this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires and then twists it into an image so dark. That's what I'd seen that day. Though I heard Lorraine many times, I had only seen her within its frame. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many were wasted away in front of it, enamored at how many were frightened away by what they saw? Wasn't there a Harry Potter mirror like that? In like the first movie. Yeah, as I stand before it now, nothing. I can barely see my own reflection in this darkness.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall? Something? Anything?
Nothing. Touching its surface doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There is no sudden surge of power, and I am not suddenly granted sight. It stays what it is, a mirror. Was Lorraine's appearance in the mirror all some sort of fever dream? Am I really that burdened with guilt and despair that my mind would eat itself in my stress and have me hallucinate such a things? Either way, just going here on some crazed obsession for a girl long gone must warrant me a trip to a doctor. Already I feel ill. After a few more minutes, in the hopes that something would change, I turn around to leave. I can just go back upstairs like nothing ever happened, perhaps drop by the party for some hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres. I can't even say hors d'oeuvres correct. Then go home and collect myself. Besides, Mrs. Wright is expected to be in. I'm
Going to leave me again then, are you?
Oh, there she is. I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. As much as it pains me, I don't look back. If I'm just hearing her again, desperately delusional, and I look back to see nothing, I don't want to give myself false hope. But when I feel fingers around my wrists pull at me, I look back in shock. Well, she looks less creepy now. My first thought is, how in God's name is this possible? And the second is, Lorraine. Her hands are cold.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
I don't know what to say, and I can only stare at her in wonder. She stands there, in the mirror, with only her arm extended outward for my sake. I look at the hand, still holding my wrist, and when she sees me looking at it, she moves it, so that our hands are intertwined, fingers weave together. Seeing her there, and feeling her touch, meant I'm not crazy, though, however impossible and unexplainable. This is all to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pulling her out from there is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. We can be together again, Lorraine and Marianne, like nothing had ever happened. But that would be all a great big lie, wouldn't it?
What? Pack out your tongue? Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Even if this thing were some magic portal that could bring back the dead, it doesn't erase anything. Just looking at her, still a young teenager, while I'm already a grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that blinds me. I've seen her twice now, always behind the mirror. If this is real, if this isn't some delusion, then why can she only exist behind the glass?
Yeah. You have no idea how happy I am to see you. It's been so long.
Well, we did have the creepy dreams about her.
You don't look happy.
I really am happy. But at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened. To you.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me this peculiar look, and before my eyes, she moves a step out of the mirror. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, almost as if I'm afraid.
I don't know how this is possible. But whatever this is, it isn't real. You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you. You're dead.
Yeah, well, that's what ghosts are, you know, dead people. A deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two. Seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie. But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you, as long as you stay with me, Marianne.
Oh, great. What a wonderfully creepy smile.
That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
That was the plan. Came down here looking for her, for closure. But this isn't just closure. This is something else entirely. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. Do I leave or do I stay? I assume if we stay, we die. So let's, no, we need to move on. Closure. That's all I came here for. However, it might as well all be just a devil's trick. And I might as well make some use of it, right? I say nothing at first, for fear of angering whatever phantom this is. I take Lorraine's hand and bring it up to my lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. She takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me along, to step back into the mirror until only her arm is extended again.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself. I know it's too late. I'm sorry. But
the thought of being with the dead did not agree with me, not one bit.
I can't stay with you.
Goodbye, my first love.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife? That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
This is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did, what I didn't do.
She thinks she can guilt me into being complacent, but she realizes otherwise as I pull my hand from her. And going by the look of anger on her face, an anger that runs cold, she did not like the fact that I am not some puppet on a string. Had she chosen her words carefully, I would have accepted whatever punishment Lorraine chooses to give me. Guilt had ran my life, and it might have very well ended it, because I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Whoever, or whatever this shadow is, my gut tells me she's not Lorraine. Yet, I keep talking as if she is.
I broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dared to admit? Yes, that was my fault. But I never meant to hurt you like that!
Despite my words, no matter how sincerely they are, she appears angry, enraged in fact. It's been years since I last saw that face, and even now, the memory of it still etched deeply in my mind. Well, we'll see what happens to, your Lorraine in the cellar in the next episode. I'm Tater Cat. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.